What is up, guys? Welcome to the Season 7 mid-tier Smite tier list. Now, this is going to be for, before I do get into this is going to be for lower rank slash beginner type of tier list for Smite ranked Conquest. So before anybody goes in the comment section down below and then says the tier list is way different than other tier lists they've seen, that's the reason why. Watch the video before you go down in the comment section, please. But apart from that, before I do get into this, leave a like. If you are new and this is your first time finding my channel, or if you guys want to support the video, please leave a like, subscribe. And if all you guys subscribe, that you guys are seeing this video, if you guys are new viewers, if you all hit that subscribe button, that'd be really helpful. Honestly, it really helps me out and helps the channel out. If you guys want me to continue doing these types of tier lists, I enjoy making them. If you guys keep supporting, I'll continue to bring them your guys' way. There's a lot to go over. Season 7 mid-season patch actually just dropped. You guys will probably be seeing this Wednesday night, but today is Tuesday. I played like legit Conquest the entire day. I woke up early at like 9 a.m. and I played like all day already, just because I have nothing else to do, at least right for like during a weekday. So not until the weekend. I'm gonna be busy the weekend, but for a Tuesday, I really don't have much to do. So I decided to just hop on, see how everything is, and bring you guys a new tier list. I've been wanting to do one of these. Update the tier list as well. I bet there's a lot I want to talk about, especially with a lot of the item reworks, stuff like that. So we're gonna hop right into this. Now I'm gonna get over the tiers. SS is gonna be your must pick, must ban stuff. Now this also keep in mind, like I said, this tier list is for ranked Conquest, anywhere from bronze 5. I'm gonna say probably up to around about gold 3. That's where this tier list is kind of based around. No specific preference, PC, console, whatever. But that's where it's going to be kind of based around new slash beginner slash low rank up to around about gold 3, bronze 5 to gold 3. That's where this tier list is going to be kind of based around. That's because I work like the range I play in mostly. I'm like a pretty silver player right now, at least. Once in a while I'll get bad streaks and I'll drop to bronze and then I'll go up or whatever. But we're going to hop right into this. Apologize for the ramble, but Hercules, A. Like I said, SS is going to be your must pick, must ban, like every game. S is going to be your top tier picks. You're going to be picking these like the majority of the game, that you can solo carry. You can carry games with these types of gods. A is going to be your average. B is going to be your below average, more situational. C is going to be your very situational gods. And then you're going to have D tier, which is there's only like 1 or 2 certain situations you're going to ever pick the god. And then you got F tier, which is absolute fucking garbage. There's no reason in hell to pick the god. So Hercules, here's your typical solo laner. You can run a solo lane, jungle. He's decent at both. He brings an execute, possibly 2 executes if you can land your first one. There's just not really too much that really separates him from like a lot of the other solo laners currently. He's just extremely average, both jungle and solo lane. Decent pressure. He has a good stun. Like I said, the execute on his ult is really good, especially for team fights. It's very average, at least currently in my honest opinion. Agni, I'm going to put Agni at a B. Agni, I wouldn't say he's bad, he just doesn't really do anything. Like, I say he's more situational, like, below average. That's kind of what B tier is, below average. Like, there's really no, if you're like an Agni god, and you constantly pick Agni, and he's like your favorite god, and you just like frag with him the entire time, then by all means go pick him, but he doesn't really just do anything. He spams his ult, and he like runs away, and once in a while he'll get a stun. That's really all he does. His pressure is very low in the mid lane, and he just doesn't really do anything. AMC, I'm going to put it at B. I really don't think AMC is going to be that good. The reason why I'm going to put it as B as well, he just gets dove. He gets dove very easily. Granted, his lane pressure ain't too bad. Like early game, it's decent lane pressure, but his mobility is garbage. He just doesn't have enough damage to really keep up. I don't think the items really favor him that much. Like compared to like a lot of the other hunters, I think AMC, even with the buff, I think he got a slight buff this patch as well. He's just still very underwhelming. Opok, B. The only reason you're going to be picking this if you're going against like a team with like double healers. Maybe you're going against like an Aphrodite at mid lane, or they're going to be running like Afro Changa or like Afro Ra, or it's like 2 double healers, or like a team that has like a lot of healing. Then you'll maybe consider picking up Opok, but apart from that, you're just not going to pick him that much. I'm not saying he's really bad. He's just more situational pick. kind of more of like a bottom tier. I wouldn't say like bottom tier, but compared to a lot of the other mages that you want to be picking in mid lane currently, I think he's just a little bit more of a situational pick. Not that he's necessarily bad, but at the same time, he's just kind of there. On her, I'm actually gonna put on her at an A. I think on her, he's just your average like hunter currently. He's able to build crit very well. His early game struggles a little bit until he gets around about level 6 and you get about 1.5, 2 items online. That's where he can start picking up. He has a really good spammable ult that just melts people. He has a built-in stun. The stun over in dual lane, if you get constant stuns off, really huge value. Great mobility, very safe. Just your typical average hunter. Very solid. Amaterasu, I'm going to put a day as well. You can play her in jungle, but mainly you're going to be playing her over in solo lane. I think she's still decent in solo lane. The main reason you're going to pick her is for her huge CC ult. Apart from that, she really doesn't do too much, in my honest opinion, but her ult and justifying picking her ult, especially with you pair it like with other like mages or like a hunter or like a jungler that relies on you getting like stuns and having that ult to set those type of plays up, really helps out the team. Anubis, SS. At a lower tier, Anubis is fucking frags. I don't care how much anti-heal you buy, people barely pick anti-heal. If they do pick anti-heal, they wait till like way too far into the game until like the game's almost over, and then they'll maybe sell something to pick anti-heal, but at that point the game's pretty much already done. I'm speaking from experience. Like, Anubis absolutely frags. You land his stun, you ult somebody in the mid lane. I think the only thing that Anubis in the mid lane gets pressured out by is Hades and Persephone. Apart from that, like I guess maybe Hera as well. Hera, Hades, and Persephone. Like all the majority of the other mages that you go against in mid lane get pressured out, and you can, after you get level 5, you just win. Like, honestly, even if you get hit like level 3, like once you get level 3, your pressure is absolutely insane. Granted, if you're not getting constantly dove by the jungler, you just farm. Like, you play Hades and you get like 1 or 2 levels up on everybody, and then you steamroll that into like 3 levels. You just go around, you rotate lanes. Once you get to hit around like level 8, and then you just frag. You forgot the name of it, but the 2 lifesteal items, and then you just build pen. You can pretty much build whatever you want, boots, whatever you want at that point. You rotate, you gank lanes, you solo ult people. Like, he's fucking insane. Even with anti-heal, he's still able to heal so much that he heals through it, like, majority of the time. 25% anti-heal is not enough. You'll still win 1v1s with 25% anti-heal on another team. You need to have like, at least like 2 or 3 people that have anti-heal if you at least want to like kind of shut him down. I think that the only downfall is he has like no mobility, and he gets dove pretty easy in team fights if he gets caught out by himself. But apart from that, that's like his only drawback. He's fucking broken. You either pick Anubis and you dominate a game and you just steamroll a game currently if you're at like a lower tier in ranked, or you ban him. One of the best mages currently, especially with a lot of the new item reworks as well. A lot of the mage items definitely benefit Anubis. Ao Kuang. I'm going to put Ao Kuang in a solid A. I think he's a lot better than he was last patch. I think at a lower tier he can frag and he can do a lot more than I say maybe like a higher tier. Just because at lower tier people don't know how to properly position. You're constantly catching people on ganks or roaming through the jungle that you can easily 1v1 and get a huge kill off on. I think he's a solid jungler, not like a mid laner. His mid lane is garbage. Don't play Ao Kuang in mid lane. The only role you're going to be playing him in is jungle. And apart from that, there's no reason to really play him. But if you want a solid mage jungle and you know how to play Ao Kuang, he did get buffed this patch as well. I don't think really any of the items changed enough to where that's really going to affect him. But I think that slight buff put him in the right direction. I don't think he's absolutely broken, but I think he's absolutely a lot better than he was previously. Then he absolutely frags. If you're constantly getting executes off, catching people out of position, easily 1v1ing them, I think he puts in a shit ton of work, especially at lower tiers where people don't know how to play against him very well. Afro, I'm going to put it in S. I think Afro is still one of the best supports / I wouldn't really say it a mid laner. I think Afro as a support is a lot better than a mid lane currently. Even with anti-heal, you need to have like 2 or 3 people with anti-heal on your team. One person with anti-heal, I guess maybe in a 1v1 can win. But she's usually in team fights and like a backline in team fights. She's kind of constantly going to be healing people up. One person with anti-heal isn't enough, and people at lower tiers and ranks don't know how to build anti-heal, or they build it too late in the game to the point where the game's almost over, and then you're half right as frags. She did get nerfed pretty heavily this patch as well, but I still think she's an S. It's like a really solid S. Apollo got buffed this patch. I still think he's an A. The reason why you're going to pick him is for his great mobility and his very good damage. I think he has a stun in his kit as well. You're going to pick him for that. More of like a utility type hunter. You're going to be landing the stun. You got that global ultimate where you can land and pretty much pick off kills wherever you want it around the map. Just your typical average hunter. Even with the buffs, I don't think he's going to be that much better. Arachne is going to be SS. If you want to pick a jungler and you want to frag and just win games, you pick Arachne and you just build Golden Blade and you build a couple other things. I think there's a new item called Serrated Edge as well. I think it's called that. I'm 100% sure. It's the item where you have all your abilities on cooldown and you get at 40 extra damage on your basic attacks. I think like extra cooldown or something like that. It's something crazy, but Arachne really good with that item as well. You can also stack boots on her. There's a lot of other stuff you can actually build her a number of ways now, which I think is really cool, especially with a lot of new items. I think either ban or pick Arachne in the jungle. And if you do pick her, you just frag games, you just steamroll games. She's a fucking broken still. Ares, I'm gonna put Ares as a B, more of a situational pick. The only reason you'd be picking him in a dual lane as your support is if you can have like ults that you can line up. Like say you have like a mid of Kuku or like a Hades or like a Anubis, where you can use your chains and you can actually pull people together and steamroll with ults, like wipe teams with your teammates' ults. That's the only reason you're going to be picking him. Apart from that, there's really no reason to pick him. He might have got buffed this patch as well. I'm not 100% sure, but he also got a visual rework. But I still think he's a situational pick at B. He's not bad, but he's more of a situational pick. Artemis. I'm actually going to put Artemis as an A. Actually, I'm going to put Artemis as an S. I think she's actually really good. Plus, Fail Not, one of her more key items, and like almost all of her builds got a huge buff with 10% penetration. Artemis, I think the only drawback about her is she gets dove very easily. But apart from that, if you get trapped like for 1 second, or if you get ulted, you get solo ulted, you're pretty much dead. She's a burst hunter. Probably one of the best burst hunters in the game. You trap somebody in one of your traps, you slow them down, you run up on them, you just burst them down like pretty much instantly. You build crit, you build fail not. If people try jumping you save your ult, you just solo ult them, you solo ult the jungler, you solo ult the mage or the warrior that's trying to jump you one-on-one, and you just win all those fights. Like, she's really hard to dive if she has her ult, because if she's a solo ult to you, you're pretty much dead unless you beat. But apart from that, I think she's a solid S. I think she's really good right now, especially at lower tiers. RDO, I'm going to put it at B. I think she got some buffs this patch as well. Her cooldowns, I think, got reduced or something. Still B, very situational. There's not really much reason to pick her over in support. Athena, I'm going to put it an A. Lots of CC. The ability to teleport to any teammate on the map is huge. I think she's just very average. Wheelix, I'm going to put it an A. I think she's solid. There's not really much to talk about with Wheelix. Nothing really changed with her. Baba Yaga. I'm going to put Baba Yaga at an SS. I think Baba Yaga is even worth a ban now, especially with the item reworks. They pretty much buffed two of the best items on Baba Yaga, plus a lot of the other mage items got either types of reworks, like to their passives or like cost changes. The two huge ones are Staff of Mirrodin and Book of Thoth. Two of probably the most prominent items on Baba Yaga got buffed. Book of Thoth got reduced by I think about 200 gold, and Staff of Mirrodin got some huge buffs. So both things where you can stack with your passive and you're able to build them really quick into the game. Like if you just rush Staff of Mirrodin and Book of Thoth as your like second and third items, you're doing a fuck ton of damage. I think Baba Yaga is probably one of the best mages in the game now. She goes from being one of the worst mages in the game to getting like constant buffs over the last like 2 or 3 patches, to being like one of the best mages in the games now, just because she got so many buffs and a lot of the items are currently in her favor that she builds. So I think she's really, really good. I wouldn't say she's really ban worthy unless it depends who you really pick, because her pressure early game really isn't that good. She can kind of Once you get past level 5, you're able to pressure a lot more stuff out, but her early, like, really early game is really bad still. I think she's even worth a ban in some cases. That's why I'm going to put her at SS. I think she's top tier currently. Bacchus, A. Not really much to talk about, just your typical Guardian over in support. Bakasura, right along with Arachne, probably one of the best junglers in the game. You wait till around about level 7 to the point where you got about 3 items online. Then you just start fragging people like legit. You get your golden blade online, you get another item online. Maybe usually it's your boots, whatever you want to build for your second item. And then you get your third item online, which is usually some type of like attack speed, mainly attack speed or like physical power item. And then you just build up your ult, then go solo ult people in the lanes, gank and solo ult people. Fucking broken, especially late game. He just fucking frags late game, like legit. I've had games where he just like, you can wipe teams, like solo wipe teams. You build Bloodforge, and you just build like two types of crit. I think it's Malice and Deathbringer, and then you just go to town, really. He's like very straightforward, really easy to play. Like, you have to be an absolute fucking dumbass to screw up Bakasura. He's like that easy to play. He gets so much results for the little amount of skill he actually requires to play. And he also got a buff this patch for some reason to his lane minions. If you consume a minion, you get a little bit more DR this patch. I don't know why they even buffed him. SS tier, you're either going to be picking him or banning him in the jungle. Baron Samdi, E. There's just nothing Baron. I think he got buffed this patch as well. I think something got buffed on him. I'm not 100% sure what he really got buffed, but I think he got buffed. Even with the buff, he's just not that good. Like, the only thing you'll be using him for is maybe his ult. His lane pressure is fucking garbage until you get to around like level 8. He gets dove by almost everything. I don't know. I think he's more of a situational pick to where you can pick him into a lot of stuff that doesn't have like too much mobility. Say they have stuff with no leaps or like dashes or ways to get out of your ult or stuff you can run down pretty easily. That's the only way you're going to be picking them. Bastet, C. Probably one of the only C junglers, at least from what I'm seeing right now. Like, she doesn't do anything. Her early game is really good, but once she gets to late game, she just fucking doesn't do anything. Like, honestly. She goes in, she gets a little bit of damage off, and then she takes a fuck ton of damage in like 2 seconds. She's standing there in front of somebody, and then she just has to retreat. She doesn't do anything else for like the rest of the team fight. Her ult is garbage. Her damage late game is garbage. Her early to middle game is decent. Her early game's maybe her best strength. Like, around like level 3, you can start going into lanes and start fragging people. But apart from her early game, her middle game, her late game's fucking garbage. She doesn't do anything. That's the reason why she's once in a while you can pick her up versus teams that really don't have too much mobility. You can get away with a lot of stuff, but C, below average. Bellona, I'm going to put an A. It's your typical solo laner. You can also run it in the jungle as well. I've seen a lot more jungle Bellona lately as well, especially with a lot of the new items. Cabrakan, A. Not really too much has changed about him, but I think he got like an animation type like bug fix, made him a lot more fluid. Camazotz, I'm going to put it in A. Good in the jungle. You can also still run him in solo lane. Just really solid in both roles. Not really too much to talk about. Cern, I'm going to put it in A. Just your typical jungler, kind of safe. The ability to switch to have your own built-in lifesteal through your base kit's also very good early game. Apart from that, he really doesn't do too much, but just like sheer raw damage. If you want like a hunter that does like sheer raw damage and has a bit of CC in his kit, then Cern's probably the best hunter for you. Cerberus, I'm actually going to put Cerberus in an A average. Decent in support, okay in solo lane. I wouldn't really play him in solo lane, but I think his shining thing right now is over in support. I think he got a buff this patch as well. Maybe either it was this patch or last patch where you got a bit of a damage buff on something. I forgot what it was, but overall really solid over in support. Shock, I'm going to put it in A. Just your average solo laner. Once in a while you'll see him over in support, but it's very situational support. You're going to be playing him majority of the time over in solo lane. He's really good at lower tiers as well. I know he drops off like more into like platinum tier from what I've heard, but I think at lower tiers he frags. Chong, I'm put it in S. I think she's really, really good. Really good lane pressure. If you're able to get a lot of kills, versus she's really good into teams that don't have much mobility, right? So if you're able to like run things down, say you're going against like a mid laner that has like no mobility, you can get some easy kills early game, and you can steamroll that into like a 1 or 2 level lead, and then you can get a lot of item lead as well. You just steamroll from there. Having the ability to stay out longer in the field as well, like on the map, without having to return to spawn with her passive is also a huge advantage for us. You can just constantly keep sending the bunny back to spawn and keep building up your items, whether it's potions, whether it's buying tier 1s, tier 2s of your item, not having to go back to spawn. It just makes her have a lot more farm potential than a lot of the other mid laners currently. And she's able to sit in lane for a lot longer and get a lot more farm. I'm not really saying it's her passive that makes her so good, but I think she has a solid lane pressure. She's a healer as well. People don't really build anti-heal, like I said, until like either like late game or they don't build enough of it. So overall, really solid. She has a really good ult as well. Like you pretty much like use all your abilities. You spam your 1, you spam your 3, and then you spam your 2. You spam your ult, and you pretty much like most squishies, most hunters, or like any jungler, it's going to be dead. Especially if you're like a 2 level lead, like mid game. Chernobog, is your typical hunter. He really doesn't do too much apart from having a global ult. If you want somebody that has huge mobility and go pretty much anywhere on the map for the majority of the game, Chernobog's that hunter. Chiron got buffed this patch. I don't think he's even that good still. B, very situational. Kronos. I'll put Kronos at a solid A. I don't think he's broken. I think I actually put him at an S last time. I think S was a little bit too high for him. He's decent over it as a carry or even as like a mid. I don't think he's that good. I think he's very average. It kind of depends on what support you have and what team you're kind of going against, but I think he's average. You can pick him in most games. Cthulhu SS. Best guardian in the game. Best support in the game. You pretty much just steamroll to level 5. Build a little bit of defense, build a little bit of offense items. You go with like a hybrid build, and you just fucking destroy teams. Like legit, you enter pretty much any team fight. You just do it pretty much anything you want. I know he got a little bit of nerf. I think they nerfed his relics where he can't use relics during his ult anymore, and I think they reduced some of his ult damage or something like that. This patch, he's still best guardian in the game. Like he's absolutely fucking broken. Like if you don't have a team that's dedicated to just taking him out of the team fight before anything else, which is really extremely hard to do, especially if you're going into ranked with solo queue and not into a party that you're not going to have coordinated play. You just ult into a team fight and you just pressure everybody out while your team just dives him. Like he's fucking impossible to kill. Especially if you're going into a team fight versus like 3 people and you're down like 2 people. Like a 2v3 team fight, there's no way you're ever going to win that. Especially with Cthulhu. Sometimes you can win a 2v3 in a team fight, but with a Cthulhu ult and Cthulhu being there, it's fucking impossible. Especially when you have a root, use levels 2. You have a really good solid root that has a huge as fuck AoE. It sets up a lot of plays. I think that he actually needs some type of nerf to his root. I don't know. I know it's a channel and everything that you can be stunned out of, but Jesus Christ, Cthulhu's still fucking broken. Colan put it as one of the better solo laners currently. You can even play him in jungle. I think he's a lot better in solo lane still, though. You just build up your Wrath. You can run him hybrid. I think his best build currently is like a hybrid type build. You run it like half offense, half defense, depending on the team you're going against, physical or special, or physical or magical. And then you just go run up to people and frag. Cupid, I'm going to put it at a B, more situational. The only time you're really going to be picking Cupid is if you're going against teams that really don't have too much mobility, or if you have teams that you can kind of steamroll team fights off of your ult. Like if they have a decent amount of mobility and you want to really lock them down, you just pick Cupid and you just ult, like solo ult people. Don't be one of those people that solo ult people in dual lane. Really annoying. I don't know, I was going against the Cupid like the other day, and like legit all the entire game he would run up to me and he would just solo ult me and just kill me. Absolutely fucking frustrating to go against, especially if I could have got away, but it cripples you. His ult cripples you, and then he just bursted me down. Dodgy. Not gonna really say a ban, but I think she's definitely a top tier jungler currently. If Arachne and Boxer are picked, then I think Dodgy's going to be one of the more top tier junglers you pick currently. Builds really good into a lot of the items currently. She's able to dive things that don't have much mobility. Get into the backline very easily if you can land her chain off her ult. Get consistent kills that way. Relatively safe as long as you don't dive like way into the backline, and as long as you have like a way to get out, you know you can get out by diving the backline. She's kind of safe in that regard. Really solid. Just a really solid jungler currently. Discordia, I'm gonna put it in an A. I'm not gonna say she's like an S. I think I put her at S last tier list. I don't think she's an S anymore. She really doesn't do too much until she gets like past like level 10. Like the majority of the game, if you want like a mage that just sits under the tower and just like spams under the tower most of the game, she doesn't really have that much pressure. She has a root and a little bit of CC, but apart from that, like once she's kind of more of like a late game god, honestly. She sits in the back line of a team fight and she just does consistent damage and she applies a bit of CC, and then once somebody's low, she tosses out an ult and hopes to get like a couple kills. That's really all she does. Erlang Shen, B. If you're going to be playing him, you're going to be playing him in the jungle. That's like the only role he's good in currently still. Still kind of dog shit. I'm not going to put him at a C, but I'm going to put him at a B just because I think I've seen him work in jungle and he's kind of a pain in the ass to deal with in jungle, especially if you stack a lot of lifesteal. Fafnir, put it at an A. Just your typical Guardian. A lot of CC. The only thing he really struggles with is his early game. Until level 5, he is fucking miserable to play. He doesn't do absolute jack shit until he gets level 5. If you want a Guardian or a support that doesn't do anything and you're pretty much a sitting duck that does nothing the entire game until level 5, then pick Fafnir if that's your type of playstyle, not mine. Fenrir, S. Fenrir is really good right now. They gave him a recent buff. They reduced the cooldown on his Brutalize by 2 seconds. I think he's really solid, especially as jungle. You build him ability based, you run Transcendence. Transcendence even got a buff, so it even makes Fenrir a lot better. Things like Fenrir, Dodgy. A lot of the ability based junglers got a lot better, even with Transcendence getting buffed. Which was still one of the best items in the game, if not the best item in the game before this patch went live, and it's got buffed for some reason. I don't know why, but really solid, great ults. You can pull people under the towers early game. Pretty much all you do is just farm to like level 4. You can start ganking at level 4. Once you hit level 5, you gank people and just dump them under your tower. Get free kills that way. Steamroll the rest of the game. Freya, I'm going to put at a solid A. I think she can be decent, but the problem with Freya is that she gets dove really easily. But a lot of the current items that for mages that either got reworked or some type of gold reduction work with Freya currently, so I think she's really solid that way. Ganesh, C. Like, honestly, what does Ganesh do? He doesn't do anything. He throws up an ult, maybe during a team fight, that maybe you can get like 1 or 2 kills for your team. Apart from that, he really doesn't do anything. Like, honestly, you're better off just picking like any other Guardian in the game, or like a majority of other Guardians for a support than Ganesh. He doesn't do anything. He's garbage. Very situational. Very situational. It's really team dependent, like Bastet. Jeb at a B. Like, every time you get a Jeb on your team, I don't know if it's, at least me personally, I don't know, maybe you guys have different experience, but if every time I get a Jeb on my team, they don't fucking do anything. All they need to do is give your duo lane, your carry a shield, and then you stun people. That's all you do as Gib, and people don't even do that. Like, if you play Gib, that's what you need to do. You give your shield to your carry so they can dive slightly and possibly get kills. Try following up on kills for your carry, or just running into their back line and trying to run them down all, and then so your carry can get a shit ton of damage off on them. Forcing them back to spawn so you can get a little bit of a farm advantage, or, I don't know, just something. Like, every time I get a Geb on my team, he doesn't do anything. So if you ain't going to do anything as Geb, you're just going to stand around and try stealing farm from your carry and just offering nothing to a team fight, then don't pick Geb. But if you want to at least do some of that type of stuff, I'd probably put him in like I'm going to put him at a solid B, just because the majority of the time people don't do anything. But if you're going to be picking him, you're going to pick him for his shield and his ult. Not really worthy of a support, in my honest opinion. I'd rather have a lot of other supports, if I'm being completely honest with you. Guan Yu, I'm going to put a solid A. Not going to talk about him very much. Nothing really changed with him. Hachi, B. I don't know. He's solid, but I think he's more team dependent. Hades, S. Especially with a lot of the mage item reworks. Hades is fucking broken. You either pick him or you ban him. You can play him in the jungle, you can play him in solo lane, you can even play him in support. The only thing I wouldn't even play him in is, well, I guess you can't play him as a carry, but the only thing I would not play him is carry. You can even play support with him. Support, jungle, you can play him in solo lane, you can obviously play him in mid. Probably one of the best pressure mages in the game currently, apart from like Anubis, things like Persephone. But if you want to have a lot of pressure in your mid lane, and pressure out a lot of the other mid laners, I think Hades is one of the top options. You either pick him or you ban him. If you do pick him, you get him as like a first or second pick, you just frag. Like it's impossible to fuck up a Hades. Like he's that fucking good to where you don't need any skill to even make him work. You just go in, you phase in, stun him out, you use your 3, and then you ult, and then you just carry people into your ult and get kills that way if you really need to. Even then, most of the time you can even get kills with just popping your 1 and your 2. Abel, gonna put it in a, not really as a mid laner, but more of a jungle. I think he's really solid in the jungle. That's about it. Hell, gonna put Hell at an A. I think they actually nerfed Hell this last patch. I don't think she's like a top tier anymore. She's average. I'm gonna say she's an average. You play her in support, you can play her in mid lane still. She has decent pressure in mid lane. Her support pressure ain't too bad. She's kind of more like a late game healer. She's constantly running out of mana. Like until you get like level 5, level 6, she's kind of bad to play, especially towards like extended fights over in lane. You're constantly backing because you're out of mana, or either that or you just buy like a shitload of mana pots. But still, I don't know. Every time I play her, like ever since she got nerfed, I feel like I'm constantly just returning to base or having to buy like an over amount of mana pots just to keep her being able to spam abilities. I don't know. I'm a I don't know, there's going to be people in the comments that think it's going to be like an S tier pick. I'm going to disagree. At lower tier ranked, Heim really doesn't do anything. He can be safe if you know how to set up your portals properly. He also got nerfed this patch to the point where you have to stand in your portal for 2 seconds before it does anything. Those 2 seconds running to your portal as your only escape and your only mobility, it's a huge, huge nerf if you're talking for something like Heimdallr. The only reason you're going to be picking him is for his ult and maybe a little bit of lane pressure. I don't know. His lane pressure really isn't that good even as with that. You throw out one of your abilities, you throw out your revealing sword, and once in a while you ult people. I think what makes him least decent is being able to get somebody like singled out from like a team fight and just ulting him and wait for till they drop back down and having an entire team dive him. That's like the only thing you really do with him. Apart from that, there's really like no reason to really choose him over like a lot of the other hunters. I'm putting him at an A just because I think for the sheer amount of damage he still does, I think he's worthy of an A. Hera S. Insane amount of lane pressure. Great ult. Once you get to level 5, you just drop your ult on somebody that doesn't have any mobility and they pretty much fucking die. Argus is fucking broken. I actually think Hera needs some type of nerf this next patch, especially with a lot of the item reworks currently for mages. It just made her a lot better. You either pick her or you ban her. I don't know. Absolute top tier in my honest opinion. The only thing she lacks is mobility, but you don't even need mobility if you can able to like stun somebody out with your 2. You just throw your 2 out, you hit them, and they get stunned for 2 seconds, and majority of the time you're able to get away anyways. So you really don't need mobility with Hera's case. Hercules, a typical solo laner. Apart from that, he really doesn't do too much in any other roles. Just your average solo laner. Horus, B, very situational. Once in a while, you'll see a Horus over in or your dual lane. Apart from that, he really doesn't do too much. Like, every time I get a Horus on my team, they either feed their ass off or they don't do anything the entire game. I don't know. I'll put him at a B and be generous, but if you wanted my honest opinion, I'd probably put him at a C, but for the once in a while you do get a decent Horus that actually tries to do something for your carry and for your team, I'm going to put him at a B. I don't think he's completely useless. Oh yeah. A. Decent mobility, decent ult. Just very solid hunter currently. Unbat's A. You're going to be picking for his ult mainly. Apart from that, there's really no reason to pick him. You pick him for that global ult, or not really global ult, but huge team fight AoE ult. He's still very solid. I think he got nerfed this last patch or a patch before, but I think he's still very solid. Isis garbage. Isis doesn't do anything. Like, you pick her as a mid lane, you can pick her as a support. Like her pressure in mid lane is fucking garbage. She gets pressured out like by all the other mages, even like ones that are in A tier that I have up there currently. She gets pressured out by like a majority of the mid laners. Solo lane or not solo lane in support. She gets pressured out by a lot of the other guardians or the hunters. She doesn't do anything. She has an okay ult for objective captures, but that's about it. She doesn't do anything apart from that. She has no. Her damage is garbage. Her CC is garbage. She gets dove insanely easy. She doesn't fucking do anything. She's garbage. Once in a while, there'll be situations where you can pick her, but apart from that, there's just no fucking reason to pick her over like any of the other mages currently in the game. Izumani. S. I think she's really solid. I think she's, especially at lower tier, she gets a lot of shit done. She's really easy to frag with. Especially with a lot of the hunter items as well. You're able to build a lot of those items into Izumani, which gives her another huge buff. Janice, B. Like, if you can play an absolute, like, priceless and, like, an absolute flawless Janice in mid, then by all means pick Janice, but apart from that, he just gets dove so fucking easy. I know he has insane amounts of damage, but if you can't land your one, and you can't get people to go through the portal and drop down and get singled out for like a couple seconds to hit your two, you're going to be doing nothing. And he gets dove so easily. Like, honestly, he has no mobility. He gets dove fucking so easy. Like, anything can dive him. Jingwei, put it at a solid S. I think he's still one of the top hunters. Extremely safe. Rarely good passes allowing you to get back to the lane or to the point where you get to your second tower range. Able to drop down a lot of places during the map, during team fights. You can even flank during team fights and get cheeky kills. The only thing I hate about Jingwei is her early game's fucking garbage. Like, she doesn't do anything until you get to like 3 items, and that, which is usually around like level 6, level 7, depending on how your lane's doing. So, even with that, I think having the passive and being able to go back to spawn and going back to lane a lot quicker than a lot of the other hunters can, is still a huge advantage for early game, which I think overall her passive really helps her early game. It allows her to go back to spawn and back to spawn a lot more frequently than a lot of the other hunters can, without losing a lot of farm and losing a lot of advantage over in duo lane. Jorm, S, probably one of the better guardians currently over in duo. A lot of CC, great pressure, great lane pressure, huge AoE for ult. You can get a lot of kills during team fights. Very annoying to go against. Kali S. Like, if you can... The only thing about Kali that really sucks is her early game. Once you get past, like, level 8, and you get, like, 3 or 4 items online, she starts to frag. You just pick people off, and you just go from there. Her immunity during ult allows her to steamroll team fights, especially since she can't die, and she's able to get health back. Restored either half or all the way up to full. She's absolutely as frag, especially late game. Like, she's hitting you for, like, autos of, like, 800 per auto. Like, fucking absolute crazy damage. Like, especially the tanks. Even with, like, physical defense, you're getting hit for, like, 600 sometimes, depending on the Kali's build. Like, she's fucking insane. Carefree garbage. C. Doesn't do anything, has no pressure. His early game, mid game, fucking garbage. Late game, he doesn't do anything. Like, at all points in the game, he doesn't do anything. The only thing he really does is maybe set up a couple kills for your mid or your hunter. Apart from that, he offers no pressure. Garbage. King Arthur. A lot of people think King Arthur is probably dead now, especially with the rework to Glad Shield. I think King Arthur is even better than he was this last patch. You just pretty much just switch out Glad Shield for Soul Reaver. That's all you really need to do. You stack Soul Reaver until you get the max stacks and it evolves. You get 10% CDR and you even get more. You get lifesteal. I think you get a lot more physical power, even more than Glad Shield even gave you. Like, I even think he's better than he was this last patch, in my honest opinion. Kuku Khan. I'm putting him at a solid SS. I think Kuku Khan's a top tier pick for mid lane currently. Especially with Book of Thoth. Book of Thoth getting a huge buff. I think it was a 200 gold reduction. Allows him to build it a lot earlier. You can actually fit Book of Thoth into a lot more of your builds. Even me, personally, playing a lot of Kuku Khan, I really wasn't even able to fit Book of Thoth into a lot of my builds. Just because there's really no reason to really buy it before this patch. Now it being a lot less gold, you're able to build as like maybe like a third item currently. And once it does evolve towards like the middle of the game and you get it fully maxed out and fully stacked, you're doing a fuck ton of damage. Especially with Kuku's passive. You're constantly hitting ults, like late game you're hitting ults for like 1500 damage in some cases. Like it's fucking insane. Especially if you know how to line up your ults, you can get like double, triple kills off your ult alone. Great team fight pressure, great lane pressure, very good mobility, relatively safe. Kumba, solid ass, one of the better supports right now. A lot of CC, sets up a lot of kills, great in team fights, very safe. Especially if they can't kill you with your passive, having to get auto like 2 or 3 times, like I think it's like 5 times, depending on your health. I think it is. You get autoed 5 times, or you're automatically revived after like 5 seconds with your half health. Just overall, just a lot of CC, able to set up a lot of kills, a lot of opportunities for your junglers and your hunters and mages to capitalize on a lot of stuff. Kuzumbo, just your average support, not going to talk about him very much. Loki, I'm not going to say Loki's absolute fucking garbage, because he has a lot more opportunities to actually do stuff at lower ranks, just because people are out of position and don't know really how to deal with them. But if you have any type of stun, like any way to find Loki, he has no ability at all. Like you just expend his cooldowns, you make him use his ult after he has like no cooldown, just run him down or stun him out, and he's fucking garbage. Like one of the best counters in the game if they have a Loki on in their jungler or like any role on their team, and if I'm playing carry, I automatically pick Neath, because if he jumps you, you stun him out and you automatically kill him. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that just automatically kill him. Like a lot of huge checks where you can't even dive them. Neath, Nuwa, Medusa kills him with solo ults, kills him. Like it's really hard for him to dive like a lot of certain gods currently. But I still think he's a solid A, depending on the team, and at lower tiers. Lower tiers, he's able to frag a lot more, just because people are out of position and really don't know how to deal with him to the max extent. But if you're like a better player like me, like almost a veteran player at this point, you know how to deal with him, and he's not really that much of an issue anymore. Medusa got some huge buffs. I think she's a solid S. Really, her early game kind of suffers till around about level 5. Once you get around about 2 items online, she just starts doing a little bit better and starts picking up. But apart from that, I think she's really good, especially with a lot of the buffs she got this patch. Mercury, one of the better junglers to actually pick up. A solid ass, in my honest opinion. You can build pretty much whatever you want. Crit. You can run them ability based. Both. You're able to run, get lots of value for. Great ult. Great team fight pressure. Really good so far. Merlin S. I think I'm not quite 100% sure if they nerfed Merlin again this patch. I don't think they did, but I think he's still a top pick. Great lane pressure. Able to pressure a lot of stuff out. Relatively safe. Granted, his mobility isn't the greatest, but he's relatively safe as long as you can get your tower. And you're able to play him like a backline, and you know when to be aggressive, you know when to stay in the backline and just shoot out damage, get stuff low, burst stuff down. Really top tier mid laner. If you guys want to have rank up really quickly, just pick Merlin and you just get to level 5 and get like 2 items online. Once you get your boots and your Chronos Pendant online for your 2 items, you're able to just frag from there. Mulan, I'm putting it in this. I think Mulan right now in the jungle and as a solo laner is really, really fucking good. She got a slight buff to her ult, where I think her arrow does a little bit more damage during her ult. I think she's a super solid. She's able to lock down people very easily. She does a fuck ton of damage late game. Her ult really isn't that bad. A lot of people say her ult is fucking garbage. I think her ult is really good. I don't know. I think she's really solid. Even in the jungle, like you build her offensive and like towards like the middle of the game, you're able to lock a lot of people down. And if you can steamroll and get like a 1 or 2 level lead, you just fucking frag with Mulan. Like even in jungle, I think she's really good in jungle. Even better than solo lane in my honest opinion currently. Neath S. Neath got a animation, I think an animation speed up for her backflip this patch, and I think a buff to her, I think it was her 2 or something with her passive. I'm not 100% sure what the second thing was, but she got 2 buffs. I just only know the first one. I think her only really downside is her early game's fucking garbage. Like once you get past like level 7, you get around about 3 items. You get your boots, you get your tier 1 item online, your first item, whatever you decide to buy. Maybe it's Hunter's Blessing, or you just want to buy something else like me. And then once you get your level 3 item online, your third item online, then she starts actually doing something. Great ults, you can pretty much join any team fight in the game just based off your ult alone. That 1 second stun from across the map, like, it's really annoying. Even playing against it, playing against a good Neath and just getting stunned from across the map when you're almost about to win a team fight in a 1v1 versus somebody else, say like solo lane or like mid, and then somebody just steamrolls you and is able to kill you just based off a 1 second stun and a little bit of damage from Neath across the map. Very annoying, able to pick up a lot of kills that way, or lock down stuff that's trying to escape, so your team can dive in and get a kill that way. A lot of mobility, really safe, and especially with that 1 second root as her one. Like, you just stun somebody and get that 1 second root, and you pretty much have like half of their health done at that point. Like, late game, she's fucking insane late game. Her early game suffers a little bit once she gets past like level 7 with 3 items online. She gets really good. Really good jungler currently. Nemesis. B tier. The only way you can play Nemesis if you're going to a team that has like almost no mobility at all. If they have at least, like, I guess I wouldn't say like absolute no mobility, then you can still play her into teams that have like maybe like one leap or like one dash or like something to get away, like 1 or 2 people. But if you have a team that has like an insane amount of mobility, Nemesis is gonna fucking do anything. She doesn't do anything if you build her like ability based. The only way you can build her is with like Golden Blade and like Tyrant and Crit and like as like a tank shredder, and like going after the squishies maybe when they're at lower health, and then just to try and going after the tanks with your ult like most of the game. I don't know. I feel like she just has like no place currently. Even as like a jungler, she doesn't do anything. Like, she's very undervalued. Once in a while, I'm gonna put her at B just because once in a while she can go against teams where she can frag and she can put in a lot of work. But it's kind of rare. She's a really extremely situational pick. Then her early game really isn't that good as either. Like, when you got to get past like level 7, level 8 to the point where you can actually start doing something. Nadja A is your typical jungler. Insane damage, really good ability damage. If you want to build them both ways, be built in a variety of ways, really solid. Nike S. I think she might have got nerfed this patch, not 100% sure. Even with the nerf, I think she's still top tier. One of the best solo laners in the game. You can even play her in the jungle. Like, Nike jungle is still a force to be reckoned with. Even in the solo lane, I think she's one of the top solo laners right now. Like, honestly, still. Nox. B. Almost no pressure in mid. Her support, you can play her in support, but she offers like almost no pressure there either. Like, I feel like she has like no role that she's really good at right now. She gets fucking torn up in mid, like, by almost everything. Her pressure is fucking garbage in mid. Her support pressure, she doesn't do anything in support pressure, like over any Guardians or like even any other mage supports. I don't know. Once in a while, you can go against a team where if you want to pick her into something that has like a lot of mobility, you can lock them down for your team to kill them. Versus teams that have like a lot of like dashes, leaps, escapes, or that are like relatively safe. Having them rooted down in place for like 3 seconds can help your team lock a lot of those high mobility characters down. That's like the only time I would ever pick her. Apart from that, she's kind of garbage. Nuwa S. Extremely hard to dive just because she automatically stuns you. Even with that, you pretty much get deleted. She does way too much damage. I think that's the problem with her. She does way too much damage. She's very hard to dive, especially if she has her stun up in her clay soldiers. Now, if you draw out her cooldowns and you know she doesn't have her cooldowns left, then she's pretty easy to dive. But if you're just trying to like solo dive her, like during mid lane or during like the laning phase, probably one of the better solo or like mid laners with a lot of pressure in mid lane, especially if you get dove. You want a really safe mid laner to the point where you really don't have to worry about getting dove by the jungler or by like anybody until like late game. You pick Nuwa. Odin, solid A. Decent in solo, decent in jungle. Not going to talk about it very much. Oleron, A. Just your typical mage ADC once in a while. You can play him at mid. I'd actually rather play him as a carry. I think he's a lot better in carry currently. Osiris, A. Decent in solo. That's really about it. Pele, S. You build auto attack Pele. You can even build her like ability based. Either build ability based Pele or like auto attack with like Golden Blade. You build her up towards late game. Maybe towards the middle of the game, you can get like a 1 or 2 level lead, and you just steamroll from there, and you just frag. I've had it happen myself. Pele's fucking fun as fuck to play. Persephone, I don't know, there's probably gonna be people that don't agree with this, but hear me out, guys. Persephone is fucking SS. She is the only mid laner that can pretty much pressure out pretty much all the other mid laners that are like top tier on this list. She pressures out Anubis, probably the only one of the only mid laners that can actually pressure out Anubis. I think the only other thing that can maybe offer pressure to Anubis at lower tiers is maybe Hades and maybe Hera. Apart from that, Persephone is the only thing that can really do it, and probably the best thing that can pressure out Anubis. If you somehow let Anubis get through, you pick Persephone for mid, and then you just wait till you hit level 2, and then you just start stacking your plants. Once you hit level 2 and get your level 3 up, or your level 3, your movement ability or whatever, you pretty much just wait till your plants grow to max stage 3 plants. You can just constantly just keep throwing your plants at him. Like, he has no mobility. The plants just run after him the entire game. He cannot dive you, he cannot stun you, he can't do anything the entire game. You build your boots, you build your Chronos Pendant, and then for your, even like a tier 2 item, you can even arguably build Divine Ruin versus Anubis. Like, one of the best Anubis checks like in the game, and she's just so good versus like a lot of the other mid laners. She pressures out like almost all the other mid laners. Like there is. She pressures out Poseidon. She pressures out Zeus. Like a lot of the other mid laners that really have no mobility, they just get dove by her plants, and they can't do anything. Like they take so much damage, they have to stun to the tower and lose farm all game. Like her mid lane pressure is just so fucking good, guys. If you guys are not playing Persephone, I don't know why you guys would not be playing Persephone. Her laning phase is probably the best laning phase out of all the mages currently in the game. Even better than Anubis. I'd even go out on a limb and say that. I'd actually even put her above Anubis. I think she's borderline broken. The reason why people don't pick her is because they don't know how to properly play her. They'll just stand in lane and then they'll once in a while spam an ult and then do nothing else. You have to know what to do and how to play her. You constantly have to be farming your plants. You constantly have to be getting your seeds racked up. You constantly have to be planting your plants down in a strategic way or just strategic pattern to get value out of all your plants and get the max amount of damage out of all your abilities. You constantly have to have proper positioning to where you point where you can't get dove and you have no way to get out of a dive. Or you don't have your ult up and you can't just solo ult somebody and just walk away in case you get dove. Great team fight ult even as well. I think they nerfed the projectile speed on her ult like a patch or 2 ago. It's still insane. Like, she has one of the best team fight ults in the game for like a team fight out of like a majority of the mages even. Apart from things like Hades and maybe like Poseidon. But apart from that, she is one of the best ults out of all the mages. Really, really fucking solid. If you guys are not playing Persephone as a mid, she's fucking a nightmare to deal with as like a mid laner if you're not playing against her. Like the only other thing that can maybe go against her is maybe a good Hades. Like, you have to like steamroll though. You just can't let her set up her plans. You have to like constantly 100% of the game like have pressure on her in the mid lane. You cannot let her like get ahead at all in the game. You can't go back to spawn before she does, or she just sets up her plans. She just steamrolls you from there. Fucking great. She's absolutely fucking top tier. Probably my favorite support or my favorite mid to play as well. She's such a blast to play. She's so much fun to play. Poseidon. Hey, Poseidon does nothing apart from spamming an ult. That's all he is. I even think they should take power away from his ult and actually put more power into his base hit, because like legit all he does is he just pops into a team fight, throws out his crack and hopes to get like 1 or 2 kills, and then he doesn't do anything else. He's a 1 ult chump that doesn't do anything. His lane pressure is okay, yeah, but whatever. He's just mainly like an ult bot. If you want a mage and you prefer playing a mage as like an ult bot, then go ahead, pick up Poseidon. He's probably the best choice for that type of play style. Ra. You're probably going to disagree with this, but I'm actually put Ra at a solid A. I think not really as a mid laner. I think he gets pressured out by a lot of the current like better type mid lanes currently. But I think more of a support. I think actually Ra and support is actually really, really solid. A lot of the other supports that are actually healers, Aphrodite and Hell, all got nerfed. Ra actually got buffed this past patch. I think you get more protections while standing in his beam, and I think you get 1 more buff. Not 100% sure what it was, but as a support, I think Ra is super solid. You build Ra of Asclepius, Jade or Crown Lotus Crown, or whatever the fuck it is, Jade Lotus Crown, and then you just stack maybe one more defense item, and you just run like offensive, maybe some more movement speed, stuff like that, and you just pretty much stay there. He has probably one of the best obscure or secure like abilities in the game with his solar beam. You just throw your beam down and you just let your entire team just go after like a tower or like a phoenix or like an objective like a gold fairy or a fire giant. Absolutely really great. I think Raw is really undervalued currently. I think he's a solid A. If you guys are not playing Raw support currently, test him out in support. He's actually really solid currently. I think it's really, really good. Now, is he like S tier good? No, but I think he's like a solid A. As like a mid laner though for Raw, I think he gets pressured out like way too much. If you guys want to really be cheeky, if you guys really want to play a meme, I wouldn't say really play this build in ranks, but if you guys really want to play something where at the point where you can't even get locked down, you can play super safe. Boomba's Mask, Raw. You build Blue Boots, you build Doom Orb, and then as your third item, you build Boomba's Mask. You got 20% CDR, and then after that, you build Chronos Pendant. Like, you have, like, 60% movement speed, guys. You, like, fucking zoom around the map. Like, especially with your passive, that gives you movement speed. At +3 for your passive, you fucking zoom. You're zooming around the map. Like, granted, you're able to get, like, killed, like, super easily, but you're moving so fast where, like, nothing can lock you down. Raijin, just your typical mid laner. Rama, a typical carry. Not really too much to say. Rat, SS. You can actually play Rat in jungle, solo, support. He's fucking great. Like, so many options, especially with a lot of the items. I wouldn't really say the items, but having the Acorn rework gave Ratatasker so much more playstyle and made him a lot less boring. Like, before he was in jungle, yeah, he was a great jungler. Don't get me wrong, I love Ratatasker. He's probably one of my favorite junglers in the game, but after them giving the new Acorn reworks to him, you can actually play him in solo. He's even decent in support. I still think his best role is jungle, but you can play him in support versus certain things, even like most things now. And you build on like a bulky set to where you get like health back and stuff like that. There's a lot of different types of sets you can play with him and types of builds. I think he's definitely top tier. Like, he's really fucking good. Like, if you want a really solid jungler, you go and pick Rat right now. You have like a multitude of ways to run him depending on the team. You just pick him as like a first or second pick, or if he's not picked. Rafana, Scylla S. I think she's still one of the better mid laners. Great pressure, great ult. Decent pressure in mid lane. Decent escape, decent survivability. Circuit A. Set B. Like, if I get a set on my team, he really doesn't do anything. He's very difficult to play. And he's, for the amount of skill it really takes to play him, you just don't get the value. I think if he was a lot easier to play and his kit was a lot more simplified, I think he would get a lot more value. I think he even got buffed this patch, like some buff to his ultimate or something like that, or some more damage. Either that was last patch, whatever, but I think he's still a B, especially at lower tiers. People just don't know how to properly play him, or you get no value out of him. Scotty S, one of the more solid, probably more like top pick carries currently. Decent amount of pressure, somewhat CC. The only thing that really holds her back, she gets dove relatively easy if she does not have her ult. Like, if you have your ult, you just solo ult somebody and you just melt them like instantly. But if you don't have your ult up, then she just gets dove. Solbeck, A. Sol, I'm gonna put it in A. I think she's relatively decent as a carry, or even as like a mid lane. Her mid lane pressure ain't that bad. If you want a really safe carry or like a mid laner, then by all means pick up Sol. And she's relatively solid currently. Stun Wukong, A. You got a buff to where his stun actually is a 1 second stun at all tiers. I think he's still an A. Susanoo, A. Not gonna talk about him very much. Nothing's really changed with him. Sylvanas got a bit of a damage buff. I think he's still like B worthy. Like, if every time I get a Sylvanas on my team, they just don't fucking do anything. People can't land their grabs. They don't know how to properly position. Like, granted, he does do decent healing numbers, and he does do a lot more damage now from what I've seen. But I think he's still listed to be very undervalued, very, like, no reason to really pick him over a lot of the other healers, at least, even with Afro and like all the other healers getting buffed or nerfed. Terra, A, just your typical support, a lot of CC. Overall, really solid. Thanatos, I'm going to put it in solid S. I think he's still one of the better junglers in the game. That auto execute on his ult is pretty much just free kills. Like, if you don't even play a Thanatos that well, as long as you're getting value out of your ult, you're helping your team. Getting that instant execute off of like a team fight, turning it from a 5v5 into a 5v4, just allows you to have so much value in team fights, even just based off his ult if you can't play jack shit with Thanatos. Morgan S. I think just because you can transform into things like Cthulhu and a lot of the other top tier mages and like ADCs and stuff like that, like currently, just for the sheer reason you can just use her, you can transform into like pretty much anything you want and get value that way, is the reason why I'm putting her at an S. Her lane pressure is okay. I'm not gonna say her mid laning phase is like that good, but it's okay. You're more so going to be picking her towards the late game, where you're going to be having team fights break out and stuff like that, where you can like copy like a crucial member of your team or the other team and like steamroll fights. That's her main niche. Thor, A. Thoth. I'll put Thoth in an A. I think he's more of an undervalued pick right now. I think he's a solid A, but just people just don't pick him. Like, he does a fuck ton of damage, especially early game. His early game really isn't that bad. I think the thing that really deters people from not picking him is his dive ability. He gets dove very easily. If you can't land the root that on his 2, then he just gets dove so easy. Tier A, very good solo laner, really solid pick still. Uller A, he got nerfed where it takes a lot more mana to switch between abilities or stances and use abilities. I think he's still a solid A. Yamana, I think he's an A still. I think he's still relatively decent. I think he's still a solid pick over in solo lane. Vulcan A, just your average mid laner. Shiva A, I think he got some type of change this patch as well. I'm not 100% sure what it was, but I think he's still a solid A no matter what it was. Jingten, still an A. Just a super solid support. Gets a lot of value just based off his ult alone. Umoja, I'm going to put it at a solid S. I think Umoja at an S is still really good. Even if the only thing you do in the entire game is just stun people, you just get so much value out of a stun. And constantly just being able to spam stuns and be super annoying the entire game gives you so much value. She's a really good support currently. Ymir got a huge buff these last couple patches. I think he's a solid S. Probably one of the better supports in the game currently. Zeus, A. I think the thing that really holds Zeus back from being better, I would put him at an S, but he just gets dove so fucking easy. His damage is absolutely insane, but he just gets dove so easy. He has no fucking mobility at all. Zhonghui got a bit of a buff this patch. I still think he's an A. I'm not going to say he's completely fucking useless like last patch, but he has no mobility, and he really doesn't get going until like late mid-game. His early game really isn't that good. His middle game is like late game he does like okay damage, and if they're stacking anti-heal, then his value goes down a lot more. But that's gonna be the tier list, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. No D tiers in my honest opinion. There's no D tiers or F tiers currently, which is a good thing. But arguably, I guess you could throw Kefri in like the lower tiers, like the C tiers down to like D or F tiers. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you guys want me to continue bringing these types of videos to you, let me know by leaving a like, subscribing if you are new, and sharing the video really helps me out. Let me know your guys' opinion on the tier list down below. Remember, this is a low tier / beginner ranked tier list. Bronze 5 all the way up to around about Gold 3 is what this tier list is aiming for. I'm currently like mid-silver, playing ranked Conquest myself, so I'm kind of speaking from experience from like all this tier list is. So before you do watch the video, or if you did watch the video and you got this far, that's what the tier list is. It's not a PC tier list, not a Masters, like Diamond tier, Masters, top tier, pro player tier list. It's not that. That's why it probably looks different if you guys are going to go in the comment section and complain. But yeah, apart from that, I'll see you guys in a future video. Thanks for watching, and peace.